the S25 Plus, Samsung's latest release for their Galaxy lineup. So I got my hands on this phone for the last 2 weeks, and some people would say this is the little brother of the S25 Ultra, but only by terms, because in reality, it really isn't. So the big brother of the S25, the S25 Ultra. Now in contrast next to each other, if you look closely to these two phones, they really don't look all that different. I mean, they're very similar, and in fact, they are similar because they're not really like brothers, like one older and younger. They're more like cousins who, study the same thing, but one has a bachelor's and the other one has a master's. Now, hopefully with that very uncreative metaphor, you were able to kind of understand the point here. The S25 falls no shorter than the S25 Ultra, and I actually prefer this line of phones for a few reasons. Now, this is a Samsung related video, but I really want to draw attention towards this kind of lineup of phones. Now, for the time being, we'll just call this a base model, but it's in fact not really a base model as it has premium features and also a very premium price tag. With that said, I want to take a look at Apple's phones. So iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Pro Max, there is a significant contrast between the two phones. It feels like they're two worlds apart. Now it really does feel like one is from another universe. You have a lot of features, but now those same things aren't true with Samsung. You don't see such a big contrast between the two phones. You see a lot of resemblance and you see a lot of coherence, in my personal opinion. I find it a little absurd that in 2024, at the time of the release of the last iPhone, we are still stuck at a 60 Hz display when Samsung has been giving 120 Hz ProMotion on their normal models and Pro models for the last few years. Yes, for the last few years, not even months, few years. Now, to some of you, this might seem as maybe irrelevant. Well, in fact, it's not really irrelevant. It actually is one thing that you should consider because you're buying a new phone, and every year with upgrades, we're looking forward to new things. We're looking forward to these upgrades, right? This is the reason why we buy these new phones. This is the reason why we look forward to them every year. Yet, Apple has remained consistent at being inconsistent with upgrades. Now, right off the bat, we're going to jump right into performance for this new Samsung. I actually really enjoy the performance, and the new chip inside has shown some really nice performance. I'll have a Geekbench score somewhere up on the screen so you guys can look at the numbers. It is seriously no joke. There's something about Samsung's performance and just their optimization with the chips that's actually really impressive. I'm going to take an example of something that might be miscellaneous, and I think a lot of people might not pay attention to this. However, I think this might be a pretty good indicator of the performance of the chip. It really manages to download media and just download overall information at such an incredible speed. It's capable of downloading full-size apps, full-size games in a matter of seconds. There's sometimes, there's some applications that I've downloaded, for example, I don't know, like Amazon Shopping, Instagram, TikTok. It downloaded the applications in the span of not even like a second or maybe 2 seconds at most, which is really impressive. That's something that honestly, I've never really seen with an Apple phone before. Now, that's just one example, and I think a lot of people would not even consider that. So if we want to look at the performance a little bit more extensively, when I use the phone on social media, I'm actually able to scroll down at such high speeds to the point where I'm not even fully able to keep up with my feed. It scrolls and loads information at a pace that's just beyond, like eye and human comprehension. It's able to load dozens and dozens and dozens of videos at a really fast speed. It also runs video games very well. Like mobile games, I have been relatively surprised, and I have to point out that most of the times when it comes to smartphones, you'll notice how when you start playing mobile games, the battery starts to drain relatively fast, and we'll touch into battery life in a minute, but it really holds up really well. So you're able to perform on games, you're able to run high graphics on high settings. Now, in addition to all of that, it's powered by a really bright, vivid display. So it's all running simultaneously in one simple form factor, and it does it in a very efficient way. I mean, I actually really like the optimization on Samsung, and I'm not gonna lie, this new chip is actually quite nice and refreshing. So if you're like me and you just picked up the S25 Plus, this is one of the best ways to transfer all of your data from iOS to Android. Now, the platform we're going to be using is called Dr.Fone, and what you're going to need is obviously your old smartphone and your brand new S25 and 2 cables to connect them so you can transfer. Once you have all this, then everything is pretty much self-explanatory. It's super easy. You just want to plug in your old phone, so in my case, my iPhone 13 Pro Max, and then you want to plug in your new phone, being the S25 Plus. Now, on most Samsungs, it's going to require you to do the USB debugging and access the developer mode, so just do that before the setup. Now, once you're in the Dr.Fone app on your MacBook or whatever else computer you're using, it's going to recognize both of the phones, and you want to go to the home page and use phone transfer. Now, from this point onwards, once you're on the phone transfer app, it's going to recognize both of the phones. You want to choose which one you want to transfer the data from. from. So obviously your old phone to the new S25. You're gonna let that download. It's gonna take a minute, and once it's done, well, you can see here everything has been fully transferred. Even my wallpaper has been transferred. All of my data is fully on the apps. Everything is there. If I open my camera roll, you'll see that all of my photos, all of my videos have been transferred. So it really does work like a charm. It transfers absolutely everything, and this is also including like WhatsApp transfer and every single other data that's on your phone. So if you're picking up the S25 Plus, this Dr.Fone platform is going to be super great for you. It's going to allow you to transfer everything safely and securely. So go ahead and click the link in the description down below to check it out for more information, and let's get back to the video. Battery life on this phone seems to be rather consistent overall. There's been some sort of fluidity over smartphones in the last couple of years. We haven't seen some, detrimental changes or upgrades that have completely changed the game when it comes to battery life. I really wish that they would give us bigger batteries, better performance, more optimization. It will come in due time. I mean, I think it's kind of in the works, and they're working on their batteries every single year. Yes, we do see some small incremental updates, but they're not that significant. They're not that wow. I do want to see a big leap in battery life, and I'm just kind of throwing that out there. So if one of you big companies is watching this video, keep that in mind. I think I speak on behalf of a lot of people. Now, a few things that caught my attention with the S25 Plus is the new software and the optimization for AI. I think this is basically the bread and butter for this new lineup of S25s. It really is focused on AI. There's going to be a lot of implementation and a lot of things to look forward to in the future. I mean, the AI is already working really, really well on Samsung. It has been for the better part of the last few months. So I was able to get myself familiar with AI since the last generation on the S24 Plus and the S24 Ultra. And I do have to say that it quickly became one of the main reasons why I really, really love these new Samsungs. The AI just works like a charm. It's in collaboration with Google, and it's also found on the lineup of the Pixel 9 Pro. It is truly stellar. It is just, especially for a person like me who's a content creator, I tend to find myself in positions where I really just buy stuff all the time for the channel, whether it's for my setup, for videos, equipment, gear, etc., etc. Now, I'm confident that this is only the beginning of AI in terms of smartphones. I'm sure that Google and Samsung are actively working on refining this AI tool, and expect a lot of changes and updates in the coming months, as this phone is heavily based on software and a lot of integration for the new Snapdragon 8 Elite chip. Now, in true smartphone fashion, this wouldn't be a review of a smartphone if we didn't talk about the camera system. In this modern day and age, I think it's become kind of like a standard to talk about the cameras and the camera performance. But not only that, I think it's also kind of like a running competition every single year between all these companies on who can make the better camera. Now, the camera system has become such an essential piece of the smartphone formula nowadays that it basically goes unnoticed. I think all of the companies are in this running competition for who can make the best camera setup, or just have the overall best camera performance. Now, we do know that with the previous lineups of the Samsung, and for the better part of the last few generations, the camera setup has seen some significant upgrades, and this one, well, it doesn't fall any short of that. I haven't had all the time in the world to take the best pictures that I could possibly take, but I will point something out, and I talked about this a little bit earlier in the video. The software optimization and just the overall image processing that happens in the Samsung phones in general is really, really solid. So you'll take a picture, and a lot of times I tend to point this out, but it won't look exactly how you want it when you're in the camera preview. Once you snap the flick and you open it in your photos, you'll start to realize how the picture is basically just another file at this point. It looks completely different, it's fully processed, and you see all the clarity and the details. Video quality in general, I mean, for the most part nowadays, 4K has become basically a standard, so you'll find that across all phones, and you'll be able to shoot in 60 FPS, sometimes even in 120 FPS, which is really impressive, especially if you want to start creating content, for example, like a little bit more dynamic. You want to shoot some slow motion, or you want to combine with like a gimbal. You can do all of these things. It's very nice. Now, with all that said, there are so many technicalities, so many little details that we can dive into for the S25 Plus. But I think it really just comes down to where you are right now in terms of your smartphone. If you have an older smartphone, I think you'll really enjoy the experience with this one, especially if you're not familiar yet with a smartphone that offers really good AI capabilities. But with that being said, I think right now we're finding ourselves in a position where the companies are providing us new smartphones with new titles, but we're not really seeing that many new changes. I really do believe that in hindsight, the S25 is more like an S24s. Not that many changes. I mean, it really even looks basically the same. Now, with all that being said, I'm curious to know what you guys think about it. So as always, you're always welcome to leave a comment in the comment section down below. With that being said, I will catch you very shortly. I do want to give another thank you to Dr.Fone for making this video possible. and I'll see you guys on the next one. Deuces.